There is a real war being waged against women, but it's not in America, and it's not by conservatives. Now, in this war, women are tortured. They're treated as second-class citizens, unjustly imprisoned, and they are even killed. Now, of course, I'm talking about the deplorable treatment of women in Islamic theocracies.
Okay guys, so welcome to my presentation. My name is Mohammed Yaqub and I am a PhD candidate in the English department at Indiana University of Pennsylvania. First of all, I would like to apologize for not being able to be with you today. Second, I would like to thank Dr. John Dufffy. I'd like to thank Craig, Layli, Chris, and everyone else on the panel. Thank you so much for hosting me and for playing my video. Today, my part of this panel presentation is about the anti-Muslim rhetoric on Fox News. You know, Fox News is, probably everyone knows, is an this is how I perceive it, is an anti-Muslim news channel. So I found it so interesting to kind of analyze the language techniques and the language strategies that they use to create and reinforce the negative images about Muslims. Let me share with you some of the experiences that I have had that led me to this presentation, to this topic, and you know, made me interested in understanding the language techniques and the language used when it comes to talking about Muslims. When I came back in 2012, I knew that America is the land of freedom, and yes, it is, you know, to somehow. It is the land of freedom, and I like it. I like living here in this country. It's a beautiful country, of course. However, when I came here, what I found that I didn't expect was that some people don't like Muslims. Let me say it that way. Yeah, they really don't like Muslims. And how I found out is, like, a lot of people, I told you I was living in the Midwest, so a lot of people, you know, were hesitant to deal with me just because I was Muslim. You might ask, or you might wonder, how did they know that I was Muslim? First of all, my name, you know, my name is Mohammed. And I tell you what, this is one of the problems that I have in this country, is my name. I love my name, but at the same time, you know, it puts me in a lot of trouble when I try to, you know, find a job, or, you know, when I want to sell or buy something online. When people find out that my name is Mohammed, they usually, you know, get hesitant to even reply than to meet me in person. This happened quite a few times. You know, I wanted to sell something, and then once they know that my name was Mohammed, they just changed their minds. You know, they didn't want to, you know, buy anything from me or sell anything to me. That's not the case with everybody, though. No, that's not the case with everybody, but it happened actually a lot. Today, you know, because I study the language, I do some critical discourse analysis, I said, okay, let me study that. So I selected Sean Hannity, and I selected his show on Fox News, Hannity show, to see how he talks about Muslims, how he presents the image of Muslims. And I'm going to share with you some strategies that he uses in his language when he talks about Muslims. Number one, he uses hedgeless or non-hedging claims or arguments. You know, hedging means when you want to talk, when you make claims or arguments, you usually try to protect yourself by using maybe, you know, or you say some people, you don't want to generalize, because, you know, what you're saying may not be generalizable to everybody. That's why you kind of protect yourself and say, oh, well, some people, you know, or maybe. But for Sean Hannity, and when I'm talking about Sean Hannity, I'm actually talking about also other people that, you know, present on Fox News, not only him. You know, I'm talking specifically about him, but also I see that happening with other people as well, with other, you know, journalists and anti-Muslim TV channels. So he doesn't use hedges. Like, he does not say, you know, Muslims may not like America. He says, like, Muslims don't like America, you know. He says Sharia could somehow be partially against the American Constitution. And he says Sharia is against the American Constitution. So what he tries to do is to present his ideas, his claims, his opinions as facts, facts that people should not debate with, that people should not debunk, that people should just accept his opinions as facts. When he uses hedging, does he use some hedges? Yes, he does sometimes, but in a sarcastic way. He uses hedges to ridicule his guests. Now, we're gonna watch a part of his interview with a Saudi Muslim woman called Manal Sharif, and see when he says to me, because when you say to me, now you're hedging, you're saying, okay, that's to me, I'm not sure about other people. But actually, he is not using that as a hedge, but as a sarcastic way. When you say, to me, you don't have the freedom, that means it's not only to me, it's actually to also everyone else. Let's watch that.
You have the choice to wear whatever you want, drive whenever you want, leave your house whenever you want, love whoever you want, whatever that is personal freedom. It sounds to me that you don't have the freedom that American women have, and the choice is you can't even drive a car. That's the point. You can't drive a car.
So the point.
That is absurd
so the point
to me.
Is compared.
Okay, so one more strategy that he uses when he has Muslim guests, and let me call this cornering, from the word corner. When you put someone in the corner so he cannot escape. What he does is sometimes, or actually a lot of times, he would have Muslim guests to talk about something, to talk about issue A, let's say issue A. So while talking, he would interrupt his guest, and he would ask some very irrelevant question. Hey, what do you think of Hamas? Well, we're not talking about Hamas today. You have me today to talk about that topic, but not this one, And then he would say, no, you have to answer my question. I am here to ask you, and you're here to answer the question. So what he's trying to do is to, I would say, to pollute the image of Muslims and to reinforce this negative image of Muslims. Let's watch what he did with his Muslim guest.
About Hamas, their charter calls for the destruction of Israel. Is Hamas a terrorist organization?
What? Why are you changing, Sean? This is so
I just
silly.
asked you a question.
Every Muslim you bring, you change the topic.
Is Hamas a terrorist organization? A simple question.
Invite an expert on terrorism to speak. That I'm here as a representative of Huda's family.
Hamas's charter calls for the destruction of Israel. Is that a terrorist organization?
I'm so confused. One of the
Are you confused?
signs that
let me say the question slowly so then you will understand it.
Okay, so now we talked about hedging, we talked about sarcastic hedging, we talked about what I called cornering, and now we're going to talk about another strategy that he uses, which is reiterating. He would, repeat and repeat over and over and over again his claims and his opinions. And repetition, if I ask you, what does repetition do? You would simply say, well, repetition tries to kind of affirm and confirm what has been said by him or by other people that are anti-Muslim, So a lot of times you would hear bad things about the holy book of Muslims, the Quran. You would hear bad things about the Sharia. You would hear bad things about, everything that is related to Muslims. And actually, what he's trying to do is he would try to reinforce all of these images that he or other people similar to him have created for Muslims. Let's watch this.
But the true application of Sharia in countries is women can't drive, women have to dress a certain way, they can't be seen in public with men that are not their relatives. In some cases, women need 4 male eyewitnesses for rape. Gays and lesbians are killed. Those that leave the faith are viewed as apostates. They are killed for such religious liberty. So the reality is, it is at odds with the U.S. Constitution. It's practical application. Howie Carr.
Okay. Another strategy that's so interesting is polls say. You know, when we make claims, we always, all the time, need to support our claims. So the support that he likes to use is polls. Well, he would all the time say, oh, polls say that the majority of Muslims in America, you know, are against the Constitution. Polls say that the Muslim women, blah, blah, blah. Polls say that, okay, what are these polls?
This backs up a poll that came out last year that even a majority of Muslims in America think that Sharia should supersede the Constitution.
Where did they come from? We know nothing about your polls, you know what I mean? He would just say, you know, polls say all the time, without actually giving us reliable or trustworthy evidence that we can rely on. And then what happened when I ask myself this question, okay, now the people here in America, those who are anti-Muslim, those who hate Muslims, and I'm very sorry to say that, do they really know Muslim persons? Muslim individuals? Are their neighbors Muslims? The question pretty much might be, well, maybe not, okay? Maybe yes, but pretty much maybe not. So when they meet a Muslim person in the Walmart, for example, if I go to the Walmart with my wife and she's covered, sometimes, this doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes we hear people murmuring with racist words. And I ask myself, well, but they don't know us. You know, they don't know me personally or my wife personally, so how come they just say these racist words? It's this media, you know what I mean? They have been informed, they have been filled with hatred just because of the media, not because of any first-hand experiences with Muslims, like either neighbors. But what happens when those people really know us? They like us. At least this is my own experience. At least I'm talking about myself, you know. I would have my neighbor, this 65-year-old lady, she would come and talk to us, you know what I mean, and brings us some, you know, gifts and presents, and we would do the same, and she just likes us. The people of the Islamic Center, and this is another problem. The Islamic Center, the mosque that we have in this town, we don't have this sign that says this is an Islamic Center. Signs similar to the ones you see at the church. And why? The simple answer is because we don't feel safe putting that sign that says, hey, this is an Islamic Center. Because this might trigger some, you know, hatred, some action, you know, against Muslims, against us in the community. So we kind of having this place, the mosque that we pray in without any sign that says this is a Muslim place. Well, anyways, I don't want to take more time than this, and well, thank you again so much. I appreciate the time that you guys let me in, and I appreciate you paying attention to my presentation, my video presentation. And again, repeat my thankfulness and gratitude to Dr. John Dufffy, to Greg, to Layla, Chris, and everyone else. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful 4C conference.